What's up, my fellow parents? All right. I'm always looking for creative things to do on a podcast. I do 3 episodes a week. One of those episodes, my dear friend Jordan joins me, and we like to do something different. I'm always looking for creative ideas to mix it up. And so today, here's what I did. I Googled, and I went to ChatGPT. What are the top 5 most popular parenting articles over the last 2 months? And I was pretty surprised at one of the articles that I found on there. So before I describe it to you, Jordan, let me ask you. Today we're going to be talking about type A and type B personalities and parenting. I guess it's a thing. Before we get into it, let me just ask you, what do you think you are? Do you think you're like a type A type person or type B?
Dude, I don't even know what the difference is. Like, I know when you get targeted as like, oh, that person must be a type A personality. I think it means like you're forward, you're the decision maker. It's like your way or the highway. It's like you could be a lot, right? So maybe type B is like flows with, lackadaisical, we'll go with the flow.
Right.
And I want to say I'm in the middle. Can you be in the middle? Is there an A/B? Because like I'll take charge when it's time to take charge.
Yeah, right.
I'll take the back seat when it's time to take the back seat. I know how to negotiate and come to the table with like an accumulative idea that everyone can get on board with. It's not like we got to do it this way all the time. But I can step into that role if my family needs me to step into that role. So I don't know. I know what you are. You're 100% type A.
I was afraid you're going to say that.
Dude, you're so type A.
Yeah, I know. That's true.
I think I can be type A, but I think I can also be like, okay, like, let me ask you this. If you run into another type A, do you guys clash?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Someone who's a decision maker, and you're like, okay, guys, we got to group together. What movie do you want to see? And you're like, let's see Terminator 2. And they're like, oh, no, we're going to see
Terminator 2.
I'm just throwing out. No. We're gonna watch Die Hard. And do you take a back seat? Like, okay. Or are you like, no, this is what we're gonna watch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you ever clash with someone else who is a decision maker?
No, but I will look for a void of leadership, and if there's no leadership, then I don't have much patience. I'm jumping in.
Yes. Okay.
I'm not really into astrological signs or whatever, but I was born in July, so I'm like a Leo, and like I don't want to. Like if there's a chance whether it be a party or a camping trip or something, I wanna make sure we're ready to go. We got a good group chat. Good. There's a lot of detail in that group chat.
Yes.
The emails are organized. Whether you have a backpacking trip, fishing trip, make sure you bring this. But let's talk, because I'm not an expert on this either. Because I think here's 2 questions I have for you. One is, do we use type A and type B? It's kind of like putting people down. Like, oh yeah, he's just a type B. Or it's like, oh yeah, he's type B.
You know,
or it's like, yeah, she's
I don't
type
ever
A.
hear type B. I don't ever hear type B. I always hear like, dude, it's so hard to work with him. He's such a type A personality.
Right. People talk about type A's as like a negative aspect.
Yes, but it can be a good thing. Like CEO, leadership, like needing organization, everything you're talking about. A family needs a type A, or else you'll wander around and not have any direction what you're going to do this weekend. But if you have a type A in the family, it's like, oh no, my weekend's already planned out. This is what we're doing, and this is what time we're getting up, and this is what time we're getting home.
I agree that I think I agree with you. We often talk about type A's in like a negative connotation, even though about 50% of people would be type A's, right? Just give or take. Maybe there's a type C.
Okay. Maybe.
But then,
I don't know.
Here's something that I do now, especially in my older age. I will, how do I say this in a way I want to say it, since I'm being recorded right now? How do I? All right, just talking that out. That's a type A thing for someone to say.
Okay, no, think about it. Think about it.
How do I want to say this? Help me say this in a kind way. Sometimes I'll look at other men that I've gotten to know.
Sure.
And I wish they were stronger men, stronger husbands, stronger leaders. I wish they would maybe.
That's very type A of you.
Talk to their wife in a stronger or more loving way, or be the man. Or be a man, or step up, and there's just a void. And sometimes I might see, and I'd be like, you might say about that, oh, he's like, his personality is more type B. You see, or he's like,
what you're trying to say is, I wish some people that I know and I've really gotten to know and love and like, and I see the way they live their lives. I wish they had more courage sometimes. Sometimes I think they don't talk when they should talk, or maybe they're talking when they should listen. But I think also that's coming because A, you're type A, and B, you're the all-knowing Sean Donohue, man. You, when it comes to being a good husband and being a good parent, like you've worked your tail off on all those categories.
Worked so hard.
And some of us are working harder at our jobs, at our extracurriculars than we are in the important fields that you're focusing on.
Thanks for saying that. I think I've done a lot of reading and research and just trying to learn about personality types. Also, just a fun fact, one of my number one strengths in this personality is a type A thing for someone to say. There's a personality assessment called Strengths Finders. Have you heard of that?
I know about these personality tests. I don't know if I know about this specific one, but
very popular. It's definitely up there with the Enneagram as well as Myers-Briggs. But my number one strength in Strengths Finders is a strength which is called individualization, which means I have a gift and a passion. I like talking about what makes someone an individual. And I don't need them to change. I like unique people, and I can see people's individual strengths. So I think when you say that kind thing about all-knowing Sean Donohue, yes, I kind of nerd out on these. I like talking about personality types. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, and you're good at it. You can, and that helps you in your field, and it helps. The reality is, like, being a good, let's say, coach.
Yeah.
It really is figuring out how to communicate to that specific individual. And one of the ways of doing that is what you're doing, highlighting my personal strength so that I can see it. Sometimes we can't see it. We're in our own way. Right. So what you have is a gift, dude. Like, it's awesome. And some people might look at you or comment on social media, you're too hardcore, how dare you talk about this topic, you're too blunt, but like, we honestly need that. That's what a good coach does. That's what like a good pastor does. It like keeps you, on the track you're supposed to be on. If we don't have people like you that are type A, we'd be a lost society, dude.
Let me say two things to you and everyone listening that I think will help us transition into the content of today's episode. Just to compliment you, I think you're type A, definitely type A. And there's so much evidence of why you're type A. I mean, you're very successful in your career. Your life is organized. You're a go-getter. You're a goal setter. But what happens is that you've been able to craft and have self-control around your personality. So you're just very pleasant to be around. You're very easygoing. You don't have to be in charge, or you don't have to nag or demand your way. But there's this trait inside of you that can come out when needed.
Yes, that's how I feel too, where I can take the back seat if I need to take the back seat.
Yeah.
So then as we're breaking this down, would plan B
type
be like,
B.
Or I'm sorry. Would type B be like just not doing anything, just taking the back seat all the time? To not making a decision, there is no organization.
Really well said. Let's talk about that today. That's a great question. Everyone ask yourself that. And here's the second thing I wanted to say. What's the purpose of today's episode? I've been thinking deeply about this, and I think I realized the number one reason for today's episode. And I don't know if it's going to surprise you, but the number one reason that we have today's episode is actually for your marriage and for your co-parenting. Here's what I realized.
Okay.
Like, I was like, why am I doing this episode? Like, what's the purpose of talking about type B parenting? And here's a few good reasons. One is that so you can kind of get to know yourself and get to know where your kind of tendencies are. Two, so you can understand other people's parenting styles. Yeah. And then I think I realized here's the number one thing. Is because I'm here, Jordan and I, we're like peacemakers. We want to help you be closer with your co-parent. We want to tighten your marriage. We want to support your marriage. Yeah. We want to, if you're engaged or you're thinking about getting married, we want to be your cheerleaders and be your wise sages. And so if you are listening to this and you're a type A person and you are married or your co-parent is type B, you need to listen to this. You need to fill your heart with wisdom and fill your heart with compassion.
Well, it's like a yin and yang. It's like
it's a yin and yang.
Or a heaven and hell. It's like a good and bad. It's a positive and negative. You have to have both to mesh, right? Yeah. We have to have. Could you have two type A personalities in the same relationship, that's got to be hard.
That's
Butting
gotta
heads
be
all the
hard.
time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's out there. It's totally
Yeah.
out there. And another thing I want to say is I feel like women who are type A get a bad rep.
Yeah.
If guys get a bad rep at type A, imagine being a woman and being type A, right? Especially in a relationship. Oh, she wears the pants in that household, right? Like there's all these
Yeah.
connotations that come with that.
I'm gonna share a couple people in my life and tell a couple stories today. But here's like just to put more personalization into like today's storytelling podcast is like if you're a type B parent, I want to tell you you're not alone. You're a good parent.
Yeah.
And the thing is if you're married to a type A parent, well, that type A parent might be criticizing the type B parent. Can you see that, how likely that is?
Yeah.
And
Of course. I mean, we all criticize each other. Yeah. We need to maybe not.
if
do
you're a
so
type
as
B
much.
parent, you might be criticizing your type A parent.
Sure. Gosh,
they're
gotta be
just-
so hard all the time. Oh,
Right.
we've got this strict schedule. Got to abide by it, right? No time for just hanging out. Yeah.
So let's just have a short little lighthearted, fun conversation about type A and type B parenting and what's the purpose so we can love each other more.
when
Isn't
you
that
were
just
doing
like
this, I love it. When you were doing this research, was it highlighting the fact that type B is bad at parenting?
No.
Okay.
It
all
was
right.
really highlighting it like, here's the purpose. Let's get into the content.
All right.
So, to my surprise, one of the top most popular articles of the last months came from Parents Magazine. And it was an article specifically written on a celebrity that I've never even heard of. So do you ever watch Grey's Anatomy?
No.
Me
I know
neither.
about it, but no, I don't.
I mean, obviously, it's one of
Yeah,
the biggest
everyone
shows
knows
of all
about it.
time,
Yeah.
right? Especially
course.
women. And so there's this really popular actress named Camilla Luddington who was on Grey's Anatomy for 12 years, and her character was Dr. Joe Wilson. And she's got 5 million followers on Instagram, and she has a lot of mega fans. I mean, this is a very popular woman in her culture. And here's the headline of the article is really simple, and it says a lot. Here's what it reads. Oh, here it comes. Oh my gosh. It says, Camilla Luddington is embracing chaos as a type B mom. There's no pre-planning anything. That's the headline.
Okay.
So
all right.
let me ask you, why do you think so many people, parents.com, probably women, why do they click on that headline, man? It's not like, she's not an A-lister celebrity. She's B or C, but why, based on that headline, why do you think people clicked on it?
Read it
It's
again.
Okay.
Read it again.
Camilla Luddington is embracing chaos as a type B mom. There's no pre-planning anything.
All right, so number one, you have the relativity of knowing who this actress is, kinda, right? If you're a Grey's Anatomy fan. B, the bigger headline is you're trying to relate it to other parents. So, chaos. We can all relate. Life is so chaotic. But it's okay to maybe not have so much structure. Oh, this article is hinting at it's okay to have time for freedom instead of gotta go here, gotta go there. So maybe more and more of us are either living that way or want to live that way.
All right, so I'm going to read a couple of the characteristics of a type B parent. And again, think about yourself, think about the people in your life, and think about how can you be a more loving parent, more loving co-parent. So to be clear, we're not going to be bad-mouthing anybody right now, and we're not bad-mouthing type B parents. So these parents can be kind of known as being kind of spontaneous, easygoing, flexible, but they can be forgetful at times, may not always be on time. They're not really into rigid schedules or routine. They feel comfortable with coming up with solutions on the fly or doing things on the fly, like I mentioned spontaneity. But, they might lose track of things, lose track of items, forget to go grocery shopping.
Dude, that's so true. I got so many people in my mind. This is the exact person.
My wife is, this describes my wife totally to a T right now, but she's a very, intense person, very loving person, intense, great friend, amazing friend, keeps the house super clean. So this is why, we're just kind of having fun with this, right? I mean, it's get to know. We're just having fun with playing around personality types. Doesn't mind a little mess
This is
and might be a little scruffy at times. and
Okay.
might be considered the fun parent by her kids. What do you think about that?
I could see that. Yeah, because you have the freedom and the flexibility to do whatever. I mean, the hard part is the time thing. See, that shows me that I'm more type A. It's like when we say we have to be somewhere, we got to be somewhere. I don't want to show up at church 15, 20 minutes late. I don't
being
need to
late.
drop you off at school late because you didn't brush your teeth on time. Like, I need a little bit of structure so that the world can keep running, right? And I don't want someone else for someone else to think that I'm wasting their time. So it's like, no, their time is precious, just like our time is precious.
That's my brain too. How about this one? Here's a signs you might be a type B parent. And I want you to stop me if I read too fast, all right? Your refrigerator is covered in your kid's artwork.
Yeah.
Like
That's
there's
beautiful.
we haven't had artwork on our fridge ever.
I know.
Maybe for
I could
like
tell. Yeah,
our
of course,
first kid,
'cause
like I put
clean house.
like 17 years ago, I put the 3-year-old pictures on the fridge. My wife, Paul, be like, this is 17 years ago. What are you doing? I was like, I don't know. Can I put Maddie's stuff on the fridge? It's cute. No.
Right.
Like, no, that's not.
Where do we put it? In the trash? No, you don't put it in the trash. I bring mine to work, because my desk is a complete mess. I got Emery's artwork all up.
Yeah.
Caden's, I got stuff all over the place because it's like I don't want to. Again, the kids have a lot of artwork, right? We want to highlight it. We can't put it all in the fridge.
Hey, everybody is different, so don't judge me or my wife when I tell you this story. All right, so we had a pool party yesterday at the house, Labor Day pool party, and there was a lot of families that came, 15 families. And I've been talking about this new game that I got. It's called Bucket Golf. Not sponsored by them. I love it, but it comes with these red buckets. It's like a golf game. And I put up some of these buckets in the backyard.
Yeah.
Because we're setting up for the party.
Totally. Yeah.
And so what do you think?
Makes sense.
A type A mom, like my wife, Danielle.
But it's out back, right? It's
in
a
the
part of the
backyard.
party.
Right.
It's supposed
do you
to be.
think
It's
there's
part
anything
of,
wrong with that? What would a type A mom who is really into aesthetics and how color schemes work, who doesn't allow any red inside the house or blues?
Red goes over here.
What do you think she said to me?
They need to be stacked, probably. They probably need to be stacked, and they can be pulled out when they're being used, but when they're not being used, they need to be put away.
She asked me to put them away. I said, Danielle, it's a pool party and a golf tournament. I said that in the group text. She's like, yeah, but please, it really means a lot to me. I was like, you got to be joking me. I just worked to set up the golf course. She's like, please.
Right.
I'm really disappointed that they're out there. And so I brought them in. Because it took me 3 minutes to set up.
Hold on. Did you play, though?
Yeah. We had a golf tournament.
Okay, that's good.
Yep. Yeah, I got
Okay,
fourth
good.
place out of 9. I was disappointed in my performance. Yeah.
Let me tell you a story. So, going on a trip, right? I have a friend that was like, "Yeah, we just decided to go away for the weekend. We didn't have anywhere to stay. We didn't know where we were going to stay. We were just going to figure it out when we got there."
Wow, that's
And I was like, my heart started being like, "You're going to figure it out when we get there." And it was like doing an event. So I'm like, well, what if all the places are sold out? Like, but no, it's like something will happen. It'll work out for good. Like one of those like good is going to happen to me no matter what.
Incredible.
So it'll work out. And I'm like, right? And that is the type B, like flows with. Let's just see what happens. And meanwhile, I'm taking my kids to a trampoline park and I'm trying to call to be like, do I need to buy tickets in advance? Can I just show up? Right? Like I need to make sure everything's ready to go.
Oh my gosh, great example. Here's a quote from the article. Here's what Camilla Luddington, it talks about this. Luddington thrives amongst the chaos in her own household as a self-proclaimed type B mom to her 5-year-old son, Lucas, and her 8-year-old son, Hayden. I'm very type B. There's no pre-planning of anything in my household. I'm in the midst of chaos every morning. That's the truth. She laughs during her chat with parents. I'm not a good cook. I'm not that mom. I wish I were the mom on Pinterest, making the cookie cutter sandwiches and everything, but I'm not.
I know. That's sad.
Hold on.
I get.
Whoa. Hold on. You said that's sad.
Yes.
For
her,
I feel
her. I feel her in that message. I feel like she's writing in her journal, and she almost wishes she was that, but she's not. And she's like, I'm not that mom. I don't know if it's a statement like, I'm proud, I'm not that mom, or if it's like, no, I'm not that mom.
I don't see that. I don't
everybody
see
else
that.
is,
No,
but
I don't
I'm
see that
not.
at all. Maybe I think
don't?
she's
I can feel that
I'm
in
not
that
a
writing.
good cook. I'm not that mom. I wish I were the mom on Pinterest.
I wish. See, there it is. I wish I were, but
No,
I'm not.
all right, let's
like
argue.
it's
Let's
sad. It's
argue.
like
Let's argue. I think she's like, look, I'm not that mom, and I've embraced who I am, and I'm comfortable with being this mom.
I think she wants to be there, but she's not quite
Interesting.
there yet.
All right.
I think she's on the
Yeah.
way of being okay with that fact. But let's be honest, these Martha Stewart shows,
Yeah.
these Rachel
Yeah.
Ray shows, here's how easy it is to cook at
Right.
home. And you feel like a
Right.
failure because you can't do it, or you don't have the time for it, or you just don't care. You're not interested in getting in the kitchen and cooking something up, or making homemade pie, or DIYing how to
Yeah.
do the best garden in the backyard. Sometimes because of what we see online, it takes a second for us to be okay with that identity, and then we can come out and be like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not that mom, and I'm proud of it.
I think. How about this statement? How do I want to? What's the? I'm thinking of a catchphrase. It's not the grass is greener on the other side. It's not we all want what we don't have, but it's something like that. Like type A parents, don't we all wish we were a little bit more chilled out and relaxed around our kids and family? And type B parents, don't you wish you're a little bit more organized and could have a little structure? I think it's
Yes.
kind of like that.
Yes, I 100% agree with you. There's a balance, right? And if you're too hard on one way, you're going to be labeled the neighborhood weirdo.
Yeah, that is. Yes,
Or,
you're going to be
you
talked
know?
about behind your friends are going
Yeah.
to talk about you behind your back. You're just too much. You're too strict with your kids.
Right.
Your kids can't even do this. They can't even do that. You are just harping on them. You
Right.
can't. Your kid won't even. Your kid has to keep their shoes on all the time. They can't jump on that rock. They can't hang on that fence. They can't do this. Or you're the type of parent, you're like, what the heck, man? Where are you? Your kid's like rolling down the hill in poison
Yeah.
ivy right now. Go do something, right? Right?
All right, so I have
Yeah.
some advice, right, for this topic. For anybody that feels like my description was accurate about this person writing this, or if you feel like that's you, like, yeah, I wish I was that mom too, or it seems so easy for them. I'm not there. I think we should all go home and write down on a piece of paper what we are good at, so we can see that everybody's good at something. Even if you're a
good.
type 2 or type 2, I'm thinking a type B.
Plan B, type B, number.
Okay. Plan B, type A. Okay. Even if you're a type B
Yeah.
personality, there are strengths there that Sean is saying, but sometimes society or your friends in a group won't highlight that.
Well said.
Or look down upon.
Well said. I love what you said so much. I'm going to build on that, and I have another tip for everyone. I used to struggle with feeling resentment toward my wife, Danielle. Now, resentment and contempt, this is bad.
Yeah, it like builds up.
Very bad.
It's like a
If
pressure.
you have resentment
Okay.
towards your spouse or towards your child, you need to check yourself because you are wrecking yourself. That's a great quote from a 90s
Okay.
poet named Ice Cube. You need to check yourself because you are about to wreck yourself. Resentment and contempt is another reason why we're doing today's podcast episode. I used to resent her because she was just so intense with me, with the kids, with her schedules, with her color schemes, with her aesthetics, with her this and with that. And the resentment would build in my heart, and I'd have to deal with it. I'd have to, and I've grown so much in the last 10 years regarding resentment. And so I'm just kind of saying the same thing you said. Now I look at her, and I said, "Wow, I love her, and she's different than me. She doesn't want any red in the house or in the backyard. And I love that about her. She's more intense in these areas, and she can't, and we haven't been on time for church since 2004. And that's okay. And so, you know what? I love her the way she is, and she's really different than me in some areas, and she's very similar to me in a lot of areas. And I've just come to a deep, inner peace about, and I think this is a sign of growth and love and marriage and parenting, and it feels really freeing and amazing. I'm not trying to change her. I'm not trying to, I don't resent her. I just have a deep understanding and acceptance that this is who she is. She's doing the best she can, and I'm doing the best I can. Let's enjoy our lives together.
That's very sweet. That's very mature. But I'm going to ask you something. You got to answer honestly right now.
Try.
When you're late, when you don't show up on time, let's just use that example. Does a little piece of Sean Donohue die inside?
So extreme.
Or are you
So
literally
extreme.
or are you literally okay with it? Like and this is why I'm asking you this as you think about your answer.
It's hard.
I've come to these realizations with you sometimes when it comes to getting ready for something or understanding the idea of going shopping for something or whatever it is that I don't get, and let's say our spouse does that we don't get. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let this pass. I'm not gonna make a mountain out of a molehill, as they say. But sometimes on some of the stuff that me, I guess, an A-type personality, I have a set of rules, and those rules get broken. A little piece of me inside kind of dies, and I have to just take a deep breath and be like, well, there it goes. Oh, well, what are you going to do? I can fight about it. I can be angry the rest of the day, or I can just move on and just accept it.
Well said. Let's play around with words, because when you first said, a part of me dies inside.
Dies. Just a little bit of Sean Don just goes,
At first, it's like, this is like, I thought it was like a negative thing. And I think that's what you meant it as. Like, it's a bad thing.
Yeah, like a piece of you gets just, you're not as happy as you would be if you were on time. You're just, a little piece of you just gets disappointed, and you're like,
A big part of what we're doing today is we're actually playing with words. Type A, type B, plan B. So the answer to that is a strong yes. Wait for the description.
Sure.
Yeah, a part of me dies because I feel deeply disappointed and a little sad or stressed. But here's I'm getting older now. I'm almost 50. Here's what also dies inside is that I'm realizing that I'm actually at war with my own ego and my own selfishness and my own cockiness, that my ways as a type A are best, and that all these stories in my head are true, and I'm totally discounting my type B wife and how she wants to live our life and lead our family. And so, yes, to that as well, I am putting to death all of that negative, egocentric thinking and just finding more acceptance in the journey.
That's great. That's really great, because I totally understand that. And when we're in these type A and type B personalities in this relationship, I think it's very wise, as I'm hearing you say this, that the counter side is saying the same thing. Because if it's so one-sided, it could totally be bad.
That is so good. You have to say that again. Is everyone hearing that? Did everyone just hear that wisdom that he just said? Say it again. Say that again in the same way or in a different way. That was so brilliant. Say it again.
What you're saying.
No, it's what you're saying. I didn't say this. You said it. Don't give me credit.
But your realization, in your example, in your relationship, in these type A and type B relationships that we're talking about, right? Let's just say they're spouses. There's got to be give and take. Like Sean is saying, let's just say a little piece in him dies when they don't make it to church on time, right? That's what I alluded to originally. What he is now saying is I've come to be okay with that, because who says my way is the right way? But is the other side saying the same thing about the red buckets?
Of course they are.
About the artwork on the refrigerator? Whatever it is, there has to be the yin and the yang coming together at some point to make the gray.
That was such an important point, especially since the purpose of today's episode is not for you to study yourself, but to study your spouse. Let me just say the same thing Jordan said in a different way. And I hope I hope I'm doing justice to what you said. I'm not going to say it as well as you said. Is everybody is tempted to criticize and resent the other person and have judgment. You got to say it in a dramatic way. Judgment. You are so fill in the blank.
Yes.
And why
X,
do
Y, or
that?
Z. Yep.
Why do that? Don't do that. Hey, more signs you might be a type B parent. Can I continue the list? Your kid might eat dinner at the table Well, maybe on the couch or on the floor. Hey, whatever is the least stressful. You're constantly losing track of where you put your keys or your credit card. You didn't mind the laundry you didn't mind the laundry piling up. Right? That's why sometimes I say to my wife, I said, look at this Mount Laundry More right here. What is this? This is Mount Laundry Kajaro right here. You don't follow a strict bedtime for your kids versus some parents are like 8 o'clock. Get your kids in bed. 9:30. You bought a planner, but you never use it.
Dude, I went on this trip to Montana a couple weeks back, early summer. And I knew going on this trip, we had 4 days. And we needed to maximize what we were going to do, right? Because you have travel on one day, travel on the other. You only have a couple days to get out and do something. And it's a big state. Montana's beautiful. So I had a couple ideas. I just had one idea a day. One idea a day of what we could do. And that was it. And it turned into pick on Jordan. Well, if Jordan didn't have such a strict schedule, we would have time for this. Or if he didn't, and I'm just like, if I didn't plan this, we would have done nothing. We wouldn't have left the house until noon. We wouldn't have done anything. It would have been such a waste of time. So we get picked on a lot. Whatever side you're on, if you're that plan B side, I can think of that right now. We're always forgetting. What'd you forget this time? Oh, we got to turn around again. How many times I got to tell you to not forget your blank? So we got to do better with not criticizing as much because we criticize each side all the time.
I wonder how many marriages where there's 2 strong Bs that are married or 2 strong As to married. I would have to guess it's not very high. Where it's like 2.
I could imagine a lot of arguing with 2 type A's because to get on the same page and you both have different ideas of what that page is. This is just an assumption. Or if you're 2 type Bs, there's not much getting done.
A lot of messes, a lot of lack of structure.
Right?
And so I do know they exist because I have a lot of clients who are both type A's and their child is not. I have a lot of clients in the membership who are both type B's and it's like their child needs structure. What's going on? What's going on, guys? What's going on?
That's interesting. That's hard to coach because can you change? Can I change from type A to type B?
You absolutely can change.
Okay.
You can change it may not be your tendency, like your default mode, but you can change. And then, of course, the most popular is the type A parent marries the type B parent, and then there's this internal power struggle where one person ends up having a little bit more power over the other. Like in my home, I've said this before. My wife is the leader of the parenting. She's the leader of the home. Yeah. I submit and support her leadership, her parenting. And if something's really important to me, then of course I'm going to speak up, and of course I get to take a lead. But default mode is, Danielle, what you and that's
right.
And I think she's just been a stay-at-home parent, and I think that's good. I think that's good.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Marriage, right? If you have a stay-at-home parent, the stay-at-home parent is to take the lead.
Someone's got to take the lead. Someone's got to take the driver wheel. Someone has to sit on the passenger side. You can't both sit at the driver wheel.
Since you seem to think they're kind of funny, I'll read a few more of you might be a type B parent, okay? Your car's floor is rarely clean. You got a drawer or a purse or a backpack, right? Because you're a parent, right? Maybe if kids are really young, it's a diaper bag. And it's just filled with junk, man. Tissues, Band-Aids, snacks, like crumbs.
Nothing organized.
Yeah, it's not like that. And then you're always rushing out the door, even when you plan ahead. The beds are probably not made right now. And when cooking dinner, it kind of feels overwhelming. It's like, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to step into that. I'm just going to order takeout or just give the kids some nuggets or something. What do you sounds like type B?
Sounds like type B, man.
All right, so here's a few more things that I want us to think about as we come to the last 10 minutes or less of this. All right, so here's a few things to look out for. All right?
Okay.
A couple things to look out for and a couple strengths. One is if you're a type B parent, are you supporting your kids relationally? Or are you supporting your kids with screen time? Do you think that would be a wise, as we think about type B parents, don't you think it's really extra important we talk about screen time?
100%. Because if you don't have the structure that you would anticipate a
Yep.
type A would have, then there would be too
Yep.
much freedom, and that has shown signs of being very bad for youngsters and adults.
So if you are a type B parent, you have to make sure you have structure and boundaries around screens. Look out for that. How about this one? If you're a type B parent, are you a good cop and your spouse, type A, is the bad cop? And do you really want to do that? Do you really want to live in that good cop, bad cop dynamic?
Good question. Very good question.
No, you don't.
And we're not saying you have to be the bad cop, but we're also saying there doesn't have to be a good
Remember,
cop, bad cop.
remember that line from 3 episodes ago? Even good cops arrest people?
Yes. Yes.
So
that
yeah,
was
be
so good.
everyone should be a good cop and a good counselor and a good friend and a
Yes.
good parent and a good strong parent and very firm and tough and kind and cool,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yes, 100%. That was so good.
All right. Let's go to the last part. There's one cool thing that we haven't talked about, which is another huge perk of type B parenting. Before I tell you what I'm thinking, do you have any guesses? What could be a really perk or positive outcome for children? Let's make a little short list. What are some of the positivities that come out
I
of Plan B
think
parenting?
it would be the idea of stopping and smelling the flowers, right? So like type A, it's all about getting to the destination and what to do along, but it's like type B is like, no, let's just be for a second. No structure.
Before we move on to another point, I'd like to sit on that point.
Okay.
I think we do a lot of type B parenting here in the house, and one of the ways is that we didn't force our kids to play sports. And so because we don't, I wish my kids played more sports because I love sports.
Should have forced them, bro.
It's because I'm type A. It doesn't mean I parent with type A. They didn't really want to at a certain age. And so
You got to push through the
well,
hard times.
it sounds like you're a type A parent. But before you start bad-mouthing my type B parent, which you already are doing, my type B parenting, let me tell you about some of the weekends we spent over the last 10 years of our lives. We spent a lot of time.
That sounds great.
We're not rushing off to sports games. We're going on boats. We are hanging out as a we're going to the beach. We're meeting up we're having
Trips.
families over. We're going on trips together. We're having barbecues.
Now you have 15
We're having
family
pool.
friends
We're having
at their house.
We're having
with
pool
swim-
parties.
Yeah.
We're having family movie days. We're all going to the mall together. We just wake up and we're like,
The mall,
yeah,
that's still a thing.
What do you want to
Wow.
do? What do you guys want to do together? We're having family outings. And so, hey,
Yeah, my house can't. My daughter's got cross country. My son's got gymnastics. We got the weekend. Then we got Sunday. We got church. There's really not a lot to do in the free time because we're go, go, go. I
for the
totally
last
get it.
15 years, we wake up every Saturday and Sunday and we're like, what should we do today?
What do you want to do?
So,
Nice.
but your schedule sounds really great too. I saw your
I love my
daughter got
schedule,
second
yeah.
place in the cross country.
Dude, she's killing it. She runs like a 7.5 minute mile at like 11 years old. She's doing really
I
good.
love seeing that on your Instagram.
Yeah, and they run like 2+
Right.
miles each time.
So
she's doing
having
great.
kids do
she loves
sports
it.
is amazing. And getting
Yeah, and in my household, it was like, listen, you just have to do one thing. Like, just, I don't care what it is. Just pick it. We've tried basketball. We've tried volleyball. We've tried tennis. We've tried horseback riding. I've taken her out shooting. We've done hike. You know, we do all sorts of things. And the school had this. So we put her in it. We're like, we don't know how she's going to do. And she's loving it.
Did they have to do something year round or just one season?
No,
just
just
one
something.
sport in the
it
whole
could
year.
be anything. Yeah. Yeah, just something.
I love it. And type A parenting would probably be like, you have to always be in a sport.
Well, yeah. Keep them
Which
busy. Right.
we're not saying that's a bad thing at all. Because maybe you have a kid who
Correct.
needs to be in sports because otherwise they're going to be annoying you about screens or bouncing off the walls or annoying people. Right? So this
Right.
is, I
Right.
hope we did a good job of not that's a big word, demonizing anybody's parenting here today. We're just talking about the joys.
No, I don't think we have. I think we've shown the positive of type A and type B and how they work well together when you're not criticizing the other side.
What else is a perk of type B parenting that comes to mind?
Well, you don't have to clean as much. That sounds good with the messy car and the messy
Yeah,
house.
less stress around cleaning. We don't know about that
Less
here
stress.
at this house. No,
I'm
that's a
just
great
teasing.
point.
Yeah, I know.
Literally,
but
this guy
more-
was in my house yesterday, and the pool party guest. He's like, Sean, what is going on here? How is this house so clean? Do you guys live here? I was like, it takes a lot of
Yeah.
work, man. It's a lot of work.
Well, we wake up, we clean 4 hours a day, and then we get to do whatever else we need
Not
to
4
do.
hours a day, but it's a lot of cleaning. But that's how we like to
I'm
live our
teasing,
lives.
I'm
We like
teasing.
having a clean house.
I know,
Well, I like
you've got
having
a
a happy
clean
wife.
house.
And I love loving her. That's one of her love languages.
Dude, look, I don't know if anybody's watching, but like, look it down here. Like, I've got clothes upon clothes that need to be put away. I mean, I've got a suitcase over here that hasn't been unpacked. Dude, it is not as clean as
Well,
yours.
you know what? If you could see my office is a dump right now. It's the only messy room in the house. There's paper stacked here, stacked here. I like it this way. So yeah, this is like, and then
Yeah, because you know where it is.
Yeah.
You know where everything is. Like, don't
I
touch
don't
my
want
stuff. I
filing
know it's
cabinets.
over there.
I don't want to put it away and then take it out on a Monday morning. Like, yeah, this is like
Right.
a different. You go through this office door, you're in a different world. All right, anything else comes to mind?
Yeah.
Another perk of Plan B parenting.
I'm sure there's plenty.
I
just
think
can't think of any off the
I
top
think
right
it's
now.
safe to say that I think that it's a very big generalization, but I think to say that the chances of a child feeling emotionally safe and naturally connected to a Plan B parent is probably higher than a Type A parent. And I'm not talking it's better, because I would think that a Type A
Sure.
parent has a chance of,
More relaxed.
yeah, just like I can talk to you more, you're less reacted, less
stress.
stress. Now
Yeah.
you could also say the chances of a child becoming more successful in life, there's actually research that Type A parents, especially mothers who pick and nag and are tough like tiger moms, the chances of a child becoming more successful, quote, successful in life, we're talking successful, but like, by
By
society standards,
I get it.
is actually there's connected to tiger moms. Now, are we thinking, am I telling you should be a tiger mom? No, don't be a tiger mom. That's not cool. But here's the last one. I'll close our episode with this. I think of some really, I'm going to tell you 2 great stories to close up our episode about true life people that I know and I respect. One is named Jemry Mullen. She's a friend of ours, and she's a great mom, and I think she's a
That's a beautiful name. Never heard that name before.
Jemry. Yeah, she's
Wow,
a great
never heard
mom.
that before.
She's a special ed teacher. She's great with people. She's great with kids. I think she'd be described as a Type B mom. And I'll tell you the story of a newer friend and some parenting and some Russian parenting that I saw yesterday. All right, Russian parenting. Ready for this?
As in
Yes.
from Russia. Russia.
So here is
Okay.
before I tell you this, here's another perk that I found in my research about Type B parenting can really help foster independence in children. I'll explain.
Type B can.
Right. Because the lack of a rigid structure or routine might mean that everyone in the family isn't always sure where they need to be, which obviously can have its downsides, but at the same time, this free time, this allowing kids to entertain themselves, encourage your kids to take responsibility for themselves. They might even take on daily tasks, chores, hobbies on their own. One psychologist, Dr. Conray, uses the example of a middle schooler reminding their parents what days they have school activities on, right? Because it's like, hey, mom, dad, do you know I have this today? Because the parents are Type
Yeah.
B, and they're not reminding
Yeah.
the kid. So then the kid is now doing it on their own. The doctor writes, I think this is a great skill, and you're giving your child a sense of independence and leadership. Can you see how Type A parenting essentially becomes a child's prefrontal cortex, and you're doing all the thinking and the over-parenting for them potentially, so they're not going to be as organized or as independent. They're going to be more codependent on that Type A parent. And then you think of Jemry's daughter. Her name is Elliot, and I mean, what an incredible kid. She's a freshman in high school. She's a great student. She's a great person. She's a leader. She organizes her own barn. She has like 75 animals. That's an exaggeration. I drove to pick. Listen to this. I drove to pick up Matt last weekend, and Matt and I went up to the mountains. I pull up my pickup truck on his. He's got 5 acres. He's got a gravel driveway. I turn my Tundra around. Matt comes out, and you would never believe what you see next. I see a 13-year-old or 14-year-old young woman. You ready for this? Carrying her dad's cooler, his heavy cooler, out to the truck. And I don't think he asked her to do it. Can you? Are you getting the visualization of this?
That takes someone who's like, no, I want to do it. My kid right now is on me like, I try. I do it all by myself, right? We got to give our kids that freedom.
Yeah, independence.
Right? Dad, can I help you? Say yes.
So this is
right?
Yeah.
Dad, do you need help with anything? Yeah, pick it up.
So this
yeah,
is like
totally.
a girl
That's
who
awesome.
was kind of born and raised in the city, and now they live on 5 acres in the country. She's becoming a country girl. She's really independent. She's stylish. She's artistic, and she's just a great kid. And I think it has to do a lot of this type B parenting, highly relational, chill, and they don't solve problems for or overthink it, and they're not super strict parents. They're just great, cool people. What do you think about that?
That's beautiful, man. That's very cool.
And they don't let her abuse
So
screens.
no matter what we are, whether we're type A or type B, people are going to criticize us. Maybe even the other person in this relationship is going to criticize us. But the good news is, what you're saying, is there's a chance for our kids. No matter if we're going to screw it up or not because we're too type B or too type A, there's a chance for them.
You ready for a Russian parenting story?
This one I already know because everybody, I have a lot of relations with this type of parenting, and it's very structured and very controlled from my perspective. Please tell me.
I think that's probably true because we've talked about a few times here, there's a lot of Russians and Ukrainians in the Sacramento, California region. So we've been around a lot since we moved here, and I just love them. I love them. They're organized, they're kind, they're spiritual, they're successful, they're clean, they are and they're Russian. So here's what happens. Imagine a jumpy house, because I had a jumpy house at my house yesterday. It's one of those water ones where you climb up on the backside with the handles.
Best. Did you go down it?
I did
Did
it.
you go down it?
I should have.
Oh.
And you climb up on the backside with the handles, and then there's water at the top, and then you slide down. There's 3 different...
Dude, so fun.
Check out what this Russian couple did. So they roll up, don't know them that well, not know them that well, but from my 2 or 3 experiences with them, very positive. My wife knows them much better. And they've got 4 kids, and they're very stylish, very aesthetic. So the dad, he's wearing Gucci glasses, for example. He's in construction.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
And he wears Gucci glasses, right? Very put together family into fashion. How a lot of Russians are. They ready? And so I look up, and on the top of the slide, I see a little baby who's 2 years old, and he's got the floaties on each arm.
How'd he get up there?
I don't know, man. It's Russians. I guess.
Dude.
And the child is crying, screaming bloody murder. Yes.
Oh, jeez. Scared.
I look around and I'm like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah, and you didn't have him sign a waiver before they came over or anything, so you're like, oh my gosh, this kid's
what kind of... This is a house of gentle parenting. What the heck's going on?
Right.
And I look at the parents, and they got their 2 other kids, walking by my pool.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to swim, and they got no floaties on. They're walking right by the pool, right? And I'm like, what is happening here?
Survival
And I look
fittest,
up at
bro.
the kid, and I'm like, what are they? And then I realize, oh, it looks like one of their siblings is up there with them. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going to happen next? You tell me.
Yeah.
We've been talking a lot about the downsides of gentle parenting recently. What do you think so many gentle parents would do in this moment? What do you think they would do?
Oh my gosh, they'd rush up there. Somebody get him down. Let me help him. I'll tell you right now, I'll be like, yeah, you got yourself up there.
I don't know
Slide
how he
down.
got up
I know
there.
you're not
I don't know if
gonna
they
get hurt.
forced him up or they helped him up, and the kid was freaking out when he got up there because it's about, it's not like it's not like a 20-foot one.
No,
it's not
but it's
20
high.
foot. It's only
But
about
it's
6
high.
foot high.
But
6
still.
foot high.
This dude's
2
2
years old.
He's like not even
Screaming
he's not even
bloody
20 inches
murder,
tall,
man.
probably. Yeah.
And
right,
and then
right.
I look at the parents and they see it. They see what's going on and they're totally cool with it.
Yeah.
And then they go down the slide. The sibling goes down with the little baby, and
Okay.
everyone's cool. Everyone celebrates.
Everyone's cool, and they whip. Yes, dude, that's.
So I went to the
it's
parents
so
like 4 hours
awesome.
later, and I took a chance. I kind of made a Russian joke. I said, "Hey,
Oh.
you're Russian, right?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm Russian, but my wife's Ukrainian." I was like, "Hey, I saw your kid up there on the jumpy house. That was some good. I like that. I like that parenting. That was some good Russian parenting, wasn't it?" And he started cracking up. He's like, "Yeah, like, you forced that kid down." Like, yeah, like there are some tough kids, and that was just a good example of like, I don't know if that was type A, type B. I don't care. I don't care.
I don't either. You could be either one in that situation, but it worked out. And it was, you could argue, oh, well, they could have gotten hurt, but come on, you're on a bouncy house. You know your
They're
kids, you know
safe.
their
It was
safety.
good.
That's a great story, man. I want to meet these people.
Hopefully you will. Yeah, they're newer friends, still getting to know them. But Daniel and Elena, shout out to you and your wonderful family. Much love to you guys. Hey, the whole purpose of today was to increase love in your heart, having compassion for your co-parent, and having more understanding and acceptance that your ways are not always the best ways. So do the inner work you need to do to love yourself, love your spouse, love your co-parent, love your kids, and fill your family with love. Thanks for Jordan and I being a part of your life. We'll see you next time.